Hey everyone, Michelle here and welcome back to my channel and welcome to the mid-year book freakout tag. I think that's what it's called. That's what it's called. So this is a tag that I've seen many creators on BookTube and Instagram and Twitter. I think I saw one person attempt it on Twitter. So, but I will just link the video that I watched for it down below. And it's a series of 13 questions that just gives you a bit of an insight into what I have liked reading so far this year and what I am looking forward to reading for the rest of the year. So I will not waffle and I will get straight into the questions. Question number 1 is, what is the best book you have read this year? Now, I have read a lot of really good books this year, but the one I went with, literally, it was just a close my eyes, eeny, meeny, miny, moe moment, was Stone Knife by Anna Stephens. This is the first in the Songs of the Drowned series. It's an adult sci-fi fantasy book where you follow lots of different characters in a world where there are creatures who are in the water. There is magic that is revered by some people but feared by others. There are old gods. There is a war brewing. It's very information heavy, I will say, but in a good way. So it doesn't feel like an information dump. It feels like it's set up for the rest of the series quite nicely. Have I missed anything else? I haven't. Well, apart from there is this one dictator, I will say, who is taking over all these lands, and there are 2 tribes remaining and they are trying to stand up to him. There is LGBT rights in here that I did not see coming, but I love how it just felt natural. It was just there. No one questioned it. It was accepted. There is disability rep as well, I'll say. One of our main characters is actually deaf, and she and well, her and the people around her work around this to try and make sure she feels like she's part of the community, and she's actually one of the most important people in terms of being able to fight these creatures. There's actually a community of them who can fight these creatures because they are deaf. I give this book 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I'm slowly edging my way into adult sci-fi / fantasy, and this was a great book to read. So I read this at the start of the year. I don't think the second book has been announced yet, but when it is, it will definitely be pre-ordered. The next question is, what is the best sequel you have read this year? For me, hands down, that is The Ever-Cruel Kingdom by Rin Chapeko. I love this sequel. This was the perfect sequel for this duology. It just rounded off the storyline so nicely. We got extra information that helped move the story along and close some storylines. Yes, there are a couple of storylines that are kind of left open, but you kind of know how they were going to close, so you don't need to read that. There are new characters who you instantly fall in love with. There are relationships that you root for and some that you don't root for at all. There are some spicy moments, not adult spicy, but a nice YA spicy, which I liked. Please ignore the dings. I am on my lunch break. It's just my laptop. Anyway, back to this. So yeah, really perfect. If anyone is looking out for a good YA duology, this is definitely the duology I would recommend. I adore it. I adore our couples in here. They are just so sweet. And yeah, I love it. I love this series so much. Question number 3 is, what is this new release that you haven't read yet but want to? And for me, that is most definitely Nightfall by Den Patrick. This is book number 3 in the Ancient Torment series, so I can't really go too much into detail as to what happens, because spoilers. However, all you need to know is magic, dragons, girls that kick ass. What more? Oh, and overthrowing an empire. What more do I need to say? Question number 4 is, what is your most anticipated release for the second half of the year? I know a lot of people are going to say Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff. as much as I'm looking forward to that book, there is a couple more books I'm looking forward to just a bit more. And the book I have chosen for this question is Shadows of Men by Abia Mukherjee. This is book number 5 in the Sam Wyndham series, a series based in 1920s India, where you follow a Captain Sam Wyndham who is in the part of the British government but works over in India. He has a colleague called Surrender Banerjee, and they are solving cases in India when it is a time when India is fighting for freedom from the British rule and British Empire. I really love this series, so I'm very looking forward to reading book number 5 when it comes out. The next question is, what was your biggest disappointment of the year? For me, I have 2. So the first one is Last One to Die by Cynthia Murphy. This was sold to me as a modern Jack the Ripper retelling mixed with a bit of One of Us is Lying, I should say, from Karen McManus. Nothing like that. People are comparing this to Stalking Jack the Ripper. Like I said, One of Us is Lying, and I'm reading this going, where? Honest to God, where? It tried to be this paranormal type thing. I felt like I'd been missold this book, and I wasn't very happy. The second book is 7 Lies by Elizabeth Kay. 2 best friends who don't really keep many secrets from each other. One of them doesn't like the other's husband and he dies, and we find out that there are actually 7 lies she has told. I could not stand our main character at all. Even though the writing was very good and I understood the story, I could not gel with that main character. It wasn't even a dislike where it was like I dislike her but I enjoyed the book enough that it doesn't really matter. I disliked her so much but it actually made me very nearly put the book down. There is, I don't think it's a trigger warning, but there is mentions and allusions to child endangerment, and I'm just like, no. So yes, disappointing indeed. The next question was, what is your biggest surprise read of the year? The Last House on Needle Street by Catriona Ward. Oh my gosh, this book did not go the way I thought it would at all. There were twists that actually did surprise me. There were twists that I generally just go, there is mention of a mental illness which is very new to me, and the way it was written I actually quite enjoyed. And yes, the twists and turns and story writing was phenomenal. So I thought this would just be a standard like turn on the last house on the left, like urban legend. No, I was completely wrong. The next question is, who is your new favourite? Have you got a new favourite author? Yes, Kate Mascarenhas. I didn't give this book 5 stars, I gave it 4. However, the way Kate wrote and the storyline of women taking back what is rightfully theirs and not letting any man tell them what to do, I'm a sucker for it. But yeah, I really enjoyed her writing style. I enjoyed her storytelling, so I am definitely looking forward to reading more from Kate. Now I'm tweaking the next question. The next question should be, what is your new fictional crush? I don't have one. I don't. I think I've gone past, I say touch wood, the era of having fictional crushes. She says, until a new vlog comes up and I'm sat there going, oh my god, I'm in love with this man. So I'm tweaking this from who is your new favourite crush to who is your new favourite fictional character. And for me, that is Dr. Simpson from the Simpson, Fisher and Raven series. Gosh, that's, yeah. I like him. He sounds like a dad character, I'll be honest, but he is a doctor who knows what he wants, knows how to get what he wants. He doesn't adhere to society's standing, so that when his housemate and assistant Sarah says, I'd love to work with magic, he doesn't just say, you're a woman, you can't do that magic. When his housemate Sarah turns around and says, I'd love to do more with medicine, learn more, become a doctor even perhaps, he doesn't turn around and say, well no, you just need to be a nurse and help. He's actually like, great, come work with me. I'll take you from the house to the surgery. Literally. He helps her with anything she needs. He helps Raven with anything he needs. He just seems like such a supportive character, and if I was in this era and wanted to do medicine or study medicine, he would definitely be a character I would want in my corner. The next question is literally just the same as the last question. What is your newest favourite character? For me, I've gone with Roper from The Library of the Dead by T.L. Huchu. She is a 13-year-old badass who uses magic like no tomorrow, talks to ghosts, doesn't care about the fact she's running into traps. She will work her way out of it. There you go. There you go. No, she's thrust into a world where she has to grow up very quickly, and she takes it all in her stride. She is scared at times, however she uses that scaredness to try and empower herself. And when I got this book, I didn't realise how young she would be. She's literally 13 or 14. But when you read it, she does read like an adult. And even though I normally hate it when characters have to grow up quicker than they actually are, I actually enjoyed it in this book. I'm not sure when the sequel is out, but again, she's a character that I'm going to follow throughout this series unless the writing gets really bad, but I can't imagine it will. The next question is a book that made you cry. Now, I don't tend to cry at books. However, this year there has been one that made me cry. The Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow, and it's the sense of family. It's a sense of sisters coming together to help each other and putting themselves on the line for each other. And for one of them, it was putting herself on the line for her niece that made me cry, because I was like, if I was in a situation like this, I would do the same for my own niece and nephew. And because I'd already had this emotional attachment to these sisters, because I could see me and my sisters in there, it was literally like, oh my god, this is my family who are fictional and were witches. Literally, that's how I felt. So yes, the only book to have made me cry this year so far, although I will be very surprised if any more do make me cry. The next question is a book that made you happy. For me, I've just picked Bookish and the Beast by Ashley Poston. There are other books that made me happy, but this one made me the happiest. It is a Beauty and the Beast retelling set in the world of the Once Upon a Con series. I loved the first two books last year. I got this as a Secret Santa through one of my groups on Facebook. I read it, I loved it. I want more from this series, but I don't think Ashley is writing more at the moment for it. But it's just such a cute retelling of Beauty and the Beast set in the real world. Well, not the real world in here, not in our real world, and it's just so cute. You know what's going to happen. There were surprises in here as well, and it's just so cute. The next question is, what is the most beautiful book you have hauled or been gifted this year? I have a few in mind for this question, but I have gone with The Nature of Witches by Rachel Griffin. This cover, stunning. The Naked Book, stunning. Stunning. I could not pick any other book over this one. I know I said there were many, but this wins. Hands down from what I own, this wins. Yeah. There you go. And the back's as pretty as the front on the cover, but yeah. The last question is, what books do you need to read by the end of this year? I'm going to cut and show you the books I need to read this year, because there's far too many of them for me to show you here, and yes, it's my entire TBR shelf. Here are all the books I need to read this year. I've already got plans to read them, but yeah, 3 shelves of to be read books. In an ideal world, I would read all of them. In a realistic world, I will most likely read about half. And there you have my mid-year book freakout tag. The answers to some of these questions are easy, but the answers to some of them are extremely hard to pick between. So yes, I am going to try and do more tag videos. Like I keep saying, for the past 3 months, I feel like I have one that Ada sent me that I need to do, and I hope to have that up and out in the next couple of weeks. So that is the end of this week's video then. If you like this video, give it a like. If you are new here, hi, my name's Michelle. I read a variety of genres at 2 speeds. I don't really review here, I just splurge. Well, I either splur and just tell you everything that happens, or I don't give you much detail at all and you wonder why have I even talked about the book. If you are new here and you have liked what you've seen, please subscribe. I do weekly reading vlogs and then midweek videos a few times through the month. But yeah, until next time, bye.